we're excited to give you our definitive guide
Yes.
on which baseball movies
And
are overrated or underrated, and there's nowhere else you need to go other than right here on Straight Shooting,
absolutely,
because these will be perfect
I mean,
takes.
you see the size of me. I obviously look like someone who watches a lot of movies, so you can definitely trust what I have to tell you. So we're going off of the IMDb rating for these movies. This is, if you ever go to IMDb and you click on a movie to read about it, they usually ask you to rate it out of 10. And so whatever you rate, they add it to their list, and the mean average gets changed based off of how many people and what they score. So you want to start nonfiction or fiction first, AJ?
Let's start nonfiction.
All right, let's start with the real stuff. Okay.
Yes, let's start with the real stuff.
So in alphabetical order.
Okay.
So we'll start with the numbers first, and the first one we got is 42. Jackie Robinson's story, most recently made with the King of Wakanda, Chaz Boseman.
What did IMDb rate it?
7.5. That's a good rating for a movie.
Okay. That is a good rating for a movie.
Let me back up real quick before you give your thoughts on it. So the way it works with IMDb, basically, if your number starts with a 6, you're at least a pretty good movie. If it's below 6, you're averaging towards the lower side. Bad movies, really bad movies are in the 4s and stuff that you've seen that went straight to TV usually is in a 4 or 5 range. If you're over 6, you're considered a pretty decent movie. Over 7, a pretty good movie. Over 8, you're getting into the greats now. So just to give you guys an idea of where we're at. So with a 7.5, that's a pretty high rating for the sports movies in general on IMDb.
Pretty high rating, but a not high enough rating.
Underrated for you.
42. Underrated for me. The performances in that movie, from Chadwick Boseman to Harrison Ford, who played Branch Rickey, and then it's I know it's his name. I don't know the actor's name, but I know that he played Mike. Is it Winchell or Wenzel or something in Friday Night Lights? Who plays Pee Wee Reese in that movie?
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That movie to me is one of the better movies, specifically sports related. It was on the level for me of Remember the Titans.
So,
it was that.
So
good
Lucas
to me.
Black is who played Pee Wee Reese.
Yes. So 42 having a 7.5 on IMDb is a little underrated for me. For me.
Also, Christopher Maloney as Leo DeRocher. They had a great cast.
Yeah.
I think they did the story justice. They got through the. It's a very serious time. It's a very sad time. It's the blatant racism is all the way he was treated, by the Philadelphia Phillies, especially, but specifically, but just in general, the whole situation that you think you could have a professional baseball league and not include black athletes is just crazy to me. Like I was born in the early 80s and lived in places like Detroit area and Southern California where it's a mix of everybody. It's a hodgepodge of people, and that's what I grew up with. So the idea of racism to me is just crazy in the first place. But to have literally a time where you had a whole league and you weren't including some of the best athletes in the world as part of it and thinking that you're going to call yourself the best is just crazy. But then you mix in the lightheartedness, the turning of a lot of his teammates and everything, the staunchness of Branch Rickey, basically not caring about any of the stuff, trying to have the best baseball team. And he didn't care if you were black, white, Asian, didn't matter. If you could play ball, he wanted you. And I think all of that came through. I think they did the story justice. I think it's a little underrated. I don't know if I'd go much above a 7.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah.